The story begins in 1973 in the Soviet Central Jail, where there was a prisoner named Bohemian who was imprisoned about 2 years ago. He saw that Captain Lawyers was a very cruel man who used to beat the prisoners badly for his pleasure. Soon Bohemian came to know about a workshop where every prisoner dreamed of working. Actually, any prisoner who worked in that workshop for 2 days would get 3 days less from his jail sentence. Also, while working in the workshop, the focus would remain on the work and the day would pass comfortably. Then one day the warden called Bohemian to his office and gave him a chance to get his sentence reduced. He wanted Bohemian to prepare a team that would work in the workshop and double the productivity there. He also said that if his team succeeded in doing double the work, then Bohemian would be released in a year. The warden said that he could work in any workshop of his choice. He can make a team by selecting a prisoner, but when Bohemian said that he wanted to select a prisoner named Chet, the warden refused outright. Actually, Chet was a very dangerous murderer who had killed 2 people brutally, but when Bohemian said that he was very hardworking and was important for the team, the warden agreed to his proposal. Finally, Bohemian made his own team, which included Chet, Needle, the old master, and a prisoner named Cressy. Bohemian's friends were a little scared of Chet, so Bohemian explained to them that without talking to Chet, just let him do his work. Actually, Bohemian and Hatche were very good friends because some time back Chet had saved Bohemian's life. Well, soon their team reached the workshop to work. Their Needle started teasing a guard, which made the guard very angry, but he could not beat Needle right now because they had to do very important work in the workshop. Well, then we see. It is said that all the prisoners were getting ready to work. After some time, the guard came there and gave chocolates to everyone because his wife had given birth to a boy. But later the captain warned the guard to keep a distance from the prisoners because there is no difference between them and animals. If they think that the guard is soft-natured, they will be beaten. Meanwhile, the troubles of Bohemian's team started when Hat refused to start the machine. The captain signaled Bohemian, then he went to Chat, and then Chat told him that a pigeon is stuck in the machine. Now all of them together tried to open the machine, but they did not have any tools for this work. There were no tools. Then the captain and the guard came there to see what was going on there. Although the pigeon was stuck in the machine, the captain still ordered to start the machine. Then the captain asked the guard to start the machine, but as soon as the guard started pressing the button, Chet caught him by the neck and started saying that the machine will not start at any cost until the pigeon is freed. Then suddenly Needle attacked the captain from behind and made him unconscious. Then he asked Cressy to close the door. Seeing all this, Bohemian got very scared because the matter was getting out of hand. Now the captain and the guard were in their control, and they started thinking about the future plan. Bohemian said that he would call the police and tell the truth, but Chet threatened him and said that if he did anything like this, he would kill the captain, on which the captain said in anger that none of them would survive, due to which all of them got very scared. Then Bohemian said that they should leave the captain and the guard and go back to work. But it must be assumed that Master and Cressy also agreed with Bohemian, but Needle knew that if he released the captain then he would lose his life. Then Bohemian tried to make Chet release the guard, but Chet said that the work will not start until the pigeon is freed. Now Bohemian tried to open the machine again, but he failed. Then Hasid said that if this pigeon is killed, then I will kill this guard also. Hearing this, Captain started laughing and said that why is Chet making so much ruckus for a small bird? Then he started making fun of Chet's dead brother. After which Chet ran to kill the captain in anger, but then the other prisoners somehow calmed him down. Now Bohemian knew that soon the other guards of the jail would be coming there. So he made a plan that he will release the captain and the guards so that in return he can also go back to the jail safely. Well, in a short while the guards came and started knocking on the door. Then the captain shouted and told them the whole situation. Bohemian went to the door and told his story. Then the guards started opening the door from outside. Then one guard sat in the car and went to call the other guards. On the other hand, the old master said that he would go out and talk to the guard. Then he came out of the door with his hands raised. Then a guard pointed a gun at him. Then suddenly that guard fired a shot without any reason, due to which the master died on the spot. When Bohemian and his companions came to know about this, Bohemian broke the control unit in anger, due to which the door closed again. Then after some time the jail warden and ambulance reached there. The warden said that he wanted to solve the matter by talking to those prisoners. The warden tried to send the policemen away so that the prisoners do not take any wrong step out of fear. But the police chief was not ready to move from there. On the other hand, the group of prisoners went inside. The prisoners were trapped in the cage, and they did not know what to do. Then Bohemian gave water to the captain and said that he should open the door and surrender himself to the police. But Cressy said that the same fate will befall them as happened to the old master. Then Chat also threatened them, saying that if any of them opened the door, he would kill the guard and the captain, and then you all can take care of yourselves. Finally, everyone understood that if they wanted to survive this trouble, they would have to take the pigeon out alive. Meanwhile, the police chief told the warden that he was given 1 hour and the matter would have to be solved in that time, otherwise the police would have to forcefully enter inside. Then the warden spoke to the prisoners through a microphone and told them that, "Brother, let the captain and the guard go. It would be good for you." The warden tried to assure them that nothing would be done to them, and they would consider this act as a mistake and forget it. Then Bohemian said he thought of trying to open the machine once again. Needle took the key from Hatch and released Chat from the chains. When Needle protested, Bohemian said that he would free the pigeon and then open the door and surrender himself to the police. After this, a scuffle started between Needle and Bohemian. Needle was about to kill Bohemian with a tool when Chat lifted him from behind and hit him against the wall. After this, they all started opening the machine. Then Chat opened the lid with the force of his arms in a short time, but there was still one more layer to be removed. They saw that the pigeon was still alive. Then Bohemian asked Hatch why he was putting so much effort to save a pigeon. Then Chat told him that he gets scary dreams every day in which he is buried alive in a grave. He screams badly, but in the end, he dies due to suffocation. Now he was seeing himself in this pigeon, and he did not know why he felt that if he is saved, then maybe he will also be saved and his nightmares will stop. Well, then Bohemian asked the guard for help in opening the machine. He said that first they should release the captain, so that the captain can go out and tell everything to the police. But Needle was not ready to release him, and then suddenly he attacked the captain with a stick. Bohemian explained to the guard that, "Brother, if we release this captain, then you will also be killed along with us, because the government will not reject the use of bullets just to save you." Then Bohemian threatened to tie the guard in chains too. He agreed to help. Meanwhile, outside, the police captain and the warden were thinking how to solve this case. The warden was sure that the captain and the guard were still alive. Meanwhile, in the workshop, Creasy and the guard went to get a tool from the other room. Creasy said that Chet was not a bad man from the beginning, but one night destroyed his whole life. That night it was Chet's brother's wedding, and he had drunk too much. When Hatch's brother asked him to stop, Hatch killed his brother in a drunken state. When his father tried to stop him, Hatch killed him too. After some time, when he regained consciousness, he surrendered himself to the police in remorse. Then all the prisoners started trying to open the machine. Then from outside, Warden called Bohemian to the door to talk. Actually, 1 hour of their time had passed, but Bohemian said that it would take them 1 more hour to get the pigeon out alive. Then Warden talked to the captain, who was tied inside, and he said that there is no pigeon here and these prisoners are just looking for a chance to escape. And at the same time, he called Captain.
Well, then the warden said that they have 60 more minutes to release the captain and the guard. Then the warden reminded Bohemian that, "Why are you messing with your life? I had told you that I will release you within a year after the workshop is completed." But when the other prisoners heard this, they got very angry, because this meant that Bohemian had used them for his own benefit. Seeing this, the captain started laughing loudly and Bohemian punched him. Then he started releasing the captain. Needle opposed him. Then Bohemian said that he will release only the captain and keep the guard captive. Then when Bohemian came out with the captain, suddenly the police chief opened fire on them. Now Bohemian immediately brought the captain back inside, and the matter got worse again. Here outside, the warden angrily punched the police chief in the face, but the chief said, "What happened? Brother, his time is over. Our soldiers should be taken out." Then many soldiers arrived there in a truck. On the other hand, all the prisoners were successful in making a hole in the lid of the machine. Then Bohemian tried to take out the pigeon by putting his hand in it, but he could not get hold of it. Needle even tried to cut the lid with the help of a grinder, but it was of no use. Finally, he decided to make another hole, but he did not have the necessary tools. Then Bohemian took the key of the room with tools from the captain. Meanwhile, the soldiers outside had prepared to attack the workshop. Inside, the prisoners were busy melting iron with a welding machine, but they did not know how to operate the machine. Then the captain came forward to help them. Meanwhile, the captain melted the iron and the soldiers prepared to explode a bomb at the door. Finally, the prisoners were successful in opening the machine, but that pigeon did not want to fly from there. Then the captain fired his pistol. He pulled out his gun and pointed it at the prisoners, but suddenly Chet jumped and caught his neck. Then Chet crushed his head and killed him brutally, and seeing this, the guard was stunned. After this, Chet took out the pigeon and cleaned it with water. Then suddenly there was a huge explosion at the door and many policemen entered inside. All the prisoners got scared and lay down on the ground, but Chet stood up and he blew the pigeon in the air. Then the police chief ordered to shoot, and after this incident, Hatch died on the spot, but the rest of the prisoners started celebrating the pigeon's release while lying on the ground. The police chief tried to kill him too, but the guard stopped him from behind. The guard lied that Hatcher had kept them all captive, and due to this, the prisoners were sent back to jail without any punishment. Chet became a hero for Bohemian and his team, and after freeing the pigeon,